New reporting indicates that Donald Trump attempted to pressure his own attorney general, William Barr, to hold a press conference where he would clear Donald Trump of any wrongdoing in his phone conversation with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. Now, at this point, it's abundantly clear that that phone conversation with Zelensky was an issue. That was the phone call that led to an official whistleblower complaint. And in that phone call, Donald Trump asked Zelensky to dig up dirt on his political opponent, Joe Biden, and his son, Hunter Biden. So here's what we know so far about this new story. The request for the news conference came around sometime around September 25th, when the administration released a rough transcript of the president's July phone call with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. So there's this rough transcript, this memo essentially, and Donald Trump is thinking, all right, well, this is my perfect call. This is the memo of the so-called perfect call. Now all I need is my attorney general to do a press conference where he clears me of any wrongdoing. The request from Trump traveled from the president to other White House officials and eventually to the Justice Department. The president has mentioned Barr's demurral to associates in recent weeks, saying he wished Barr would have held the news conference, Trump advisors say. But Barr ultimately decided that he would not hold this press conference, and I think for obvious reasons.
Yeah, so let's just lay it out as clearly as we can. So when Trump says, hey, do the press conference telling everybody I'm not guilty, and Barr says no, that is dramatic, because here's Barr, who was picked to be Donald Trump's yes man, to say that he never commits any crimes, he has ultimate executive authority, and he believes that ideologically, and it has shown every kind of obedience to Donald Trump. In fact, after Robert Mueller released his report saying, look, there's not enough evidence of collusion, but there are 10 counts of obstruction, William Barr then did a press conference saying Robert Mueller completely cleared Donald Trump. That wasn't remotely true, he did it anyway. So this is a guy, the context is super important. This is a guy who was specifically picked to back Donald Trump under any and all circumstances, and has done so in the past. If he's not doing a news conference as Trump has directed him to do, clearing Donald Trump, that means he thinks I might go to prison if I stick my neck out and defend Trump on something that is indefensible.
Exactly, and William Barr didn't personally release a statement clearing Donald Trump or trying to defend Donald Trump. There was a generic statement from the Justice Department. As the rough transcript was released, a Justice Department spokeswoman said officials had evaluated it and the whistleblower complaint to see whether campaign finance laws had been broken, determined that none had been, and decided no further action was warranted. So this seems to be a little bit of a half measure from the Justice Department, but it wasn't what Donald Trump wanted. Donald Trump wanted this big public spectacle. He wanted William Barr to go out there, do a press conference, and clear him of any wrongdoing. Now, though the rough transcript shows Trump offering Zelensky the services of his attorney general to aid investigations of Biden and his son, a Barr spokeswoman said that Barr and Trump had never discussed that. So remember, Barr is mentioned in that transcript, like work with Barr. And now you have, not now, but like when this story first broke, the Justice Department had released a statement saying, oh, no, but Barr knows nothing about this. In fact, Carrie Kupek, who is a DOJ spokeswoman, says the president has not spoken with the attorney general about having Ukraine investigate anything relating to former Vice President Biden or his son. The president has not asked the attorney general to contact Ukraine on this or any other matter. The attorney general has not communicated with Ukraine on this or any other subject.
In other words, it wasn't us. It wasn't us. It's definitely not Barr. Barr had nothing to do with this, okay? Now, guys, think about it this way. If William Barr or any other part of the administration was involved in the al-Baghdadi raid, do you think they'd be in the witness protection program? Or do you think they'd be in front of cameras going, oh yeah, I was there, man. Man, look, I don't know that they could have done the raid without me, right? They'd be, if it was something positive, in other words, they'd jump all over it. And as Barr has shown in the past, even if it's something really deeply negative, he thinks if he's got just a tiny little leg to stand on, he'll jump out there in front of all the cameras and go, Trump is innocent, right? In this case, they put out that little memo saying, well, I mean, on the campaign finance reform issue, we don't think he violated any laws. Now, Barr didn't sign it, so he has plausible deniability, right? And then you ask him, did you guys do a real investigation? They're like, no, we looked at the rough transcript and thought that was good enough. Well, wouldn't you want the whole transcript if you were doing a real investigation? You could just ask the White House, your Department of Justice. Oh, you didn't ask for it. You didn't ask to talk to anyone else on the call. Obviously not a real investigation. It was a half measure so that Donald Trump didn't blow his top.
Right.
But Barr is like, this is nuclear and I don't want to touch it. That's how bad this is. And now finally, the coup de grace. So you just heard Anna read the statement about from the DOJ saying Barr ain't got nothing to do with Ukraine. I never talked to Ukraine. I never talked to the president about Ukraine. No, right? No. So then Trump says, Bill Barr did not decline my request to talk about Ukraine.
Love it. Love it.
Elbow from the sky. So now, you see, he's such a dumbass. Then you're gonna get asked, and your attorney general is gonna get asked, but he says he didn't talk to you. You're saying that you did talk to him and tell him to go make that request of Ukraine, and that he did not deny that request. So you're disagreeing with your own attorney general in 3 different ways in that one simple statement. So don't you see how that's gonna create a political mess for you? Because now we're gonna go back to the attorney general and ask, hey, the president says you guys did talk and that you were part of pressuring Ukraine.
No, I love it. I love that it's gonna create a political mess for both parties. I love the fact that Donald Trump not only incriminates himself, he incriminates the people around him. And remember, William Barr, his whole ideology about the executive branch and the president specifically is, in my opinion, unconstitutional. He believes the executive branch has almost unlimited power, right? And so he went to do a press conference to defend Donald Trump in regard to the Mueller report. And what he said about the Mueller report was so problematic and so false that it led to Mueller writing him a letter to say, yo, homeboy, you're totally mischaracterizing what I said in my report. This is ridiculous. Not in so many words, but you get what I mean.
Really? Mueller didn't say, yo, homeboy.
No, didn't say that, didn't say that. But that's what was implied. And in this case, again, as Cenk said, and you're absolutely right, this is so nuclear that William Barr is like, I'm gonna go over there.
Look, Giuliani it might at some point be arrested. And Giuliani's putting out tweets talking about how, it wasn't the US government that I was working for, it was Donald Trump personally. Oh no, why are you admitting that in a tweet? This is Dumb and Dumber, right? So what that means is, when we asked for a quid pro quo, it was not on behalf of America, it was on behalf of Donald Trump. Well, that's the biggest violation of your oath that you could possibly have as president, where you say, I don't care about the American people, I don't care about their national security, I'm gonna hold up this aid that would help American national security for a personal favor against my political opponent. Giuliani, his own lawyer, basically just admitted guilt in that tweet. They're so dumb. All attorneys responding are like, what are you doing? Go get counsel. Giuliani should have a lawyer telling him not to tweet. You just admitted a crime.
So let me actually elaborate a little more on that. Giuliani actually had a difficult time finding lawyers who were willing to represent him.
Who could blame them?
Now he finally did find some counsel, and he's ecstatic about that. But I also want to note, Giuliani was regularly going on cable television, giving all sorts of crazy interviews that made him and Donald Trump look incredibly bad in this case. And I've noticed that lately he's been staying away from television.
Well, if he got an attorney, his first job as Giuliani's attorney would be to lock him in a basement.
Definitely.
And take his phone away and make sure no cameras are allowed in. And then finally, Bolton now is apparently going to testify.
Delicious.
Now remember, Bolton is pissed because Trump basically fired him. Bolton is a neocon.
He's a terrible person.
Right winger. No, meaning like he ain't no soft Democrat, right? If he wants to kneecap Trump, he'll kneecap Trump and he won't hesitate, right? And then third of all, he's the guy who stopped Sondland and Volker and all those guys when they were talking to Ukrainians and saying, hey, you gotta investigate the president's political opponent. And even Bolton was like, no, meeting over. And then pulled him aside and said, what are you doing? No, we can't do that on behalf of the president. So we already know because of the other testimony that Bolton was definitely opposed to this illegal act. So in the only positive maneuver of his life, right?
Right.
If he goes to go testify about that, look, guys, I mean, tick, 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 tick. There's no way out here. He definitely did it. He did both crimes. He asked for help in a political campaign, already a crime, and he did the quid pro quo. With the Sunderland revised testimony saying, yes, it was definitely a quid pro quo, this thing is over. So the only way that he could escape now is the Democrats somehow in an epic bungle. So that's the only reason why it's not really over, because that's always possible. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.